Hey everybody, Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts. Happy to be here today doing an event in the Crafty Bunch. I am going to just make sure that, well, that's not going to do it. Trying to make sure I'm live. Yep, okay, Facebook says I'm live. And getting where I can see the comments. Thank you, Cheryl. Lift that up a little bit. So I'm gonna switch my camera view here in a second so that all you can see is my desktop. But so I am team neutral today, I think. Well, yes. But as I was pulling this project together, I got to thinking, I'm like, I don't know that this is actually going to take me 45 minutes. So I have second project, depending on how fast this is, which would be a neon project. So you might see a little bit of both today. But we're going to kind of do a, well, I'm going to turn this around this way. Kind of a dupe today of this project from another chalk couture designer, and varying it slightly because I'm not using the honeycomb frame. I'm using our 9x12 beaded frame, and Brenda did hers on acrylic and spray painted the back. You can't really see it from here. I'll try to share it, like the actual picture of her project in the group, because the cinnamon stick looks 3D because of how she chalked it, which I would like to try on acrylic, but I didn't have a big acrylic board. So I decided to go with this, and then later I will paint the frame. She painted the honeycomb frame with gold spray paint, and then went over it in white wax. So I will do that to this beaded frame, but I certainly wasn't going to try to do that on a live. And yesterday I realized I didn't have any gold spray paint. So it's like, well, I guess I'm not getting it done beforehand either. So we're going to go ahead and get started. My dogs are saying hi, because of course I'm live with nobody else in the house. I usually don't ever do that. Alright, so I'm going to take off my other camera, and I'm going to make this bigger so that all you really see is my desktop. Sorry for the motion there that can kind of make people nauseated. Hi, Kathy. So this is the 9x12 beaded frame. We have Chalk Couture has a whole series of beaded surfaces. There's a beaded round, there's an oval, there's this, there's a rectangular frame. I think it's 9x12. No, this is 9x12. I don't know what that one is. So, you know, kind of long and skinny. And I love these. I love these surfaces so much. And then this is called Spiked Eggnog. This was from the 2024 holiday release, so just came out. Watching from Idaho. I am in central Illinois. What is your weather like? We are having a very weird warm front coming through. It's very windy outside, but like tomorrow and Wednesday we're supposed to be in 80-degree weather, and then drop down to like the high 50s, low 60s on what is today? Thursday. So like, you know, right before trick-or-treating, and it's supposed to rain, so that's always great. See if I can pop this out. I'm gonna need my screwdriver. Sometimes these things on the back, not just chalk frames, but frames in general, are so tight that you can't get them open. Well, I don't know that screwdriver is going to work either. It's too big. There we go. I can't find my little screwdriver. It has disappeared on me. That and my Creative Memory scissors have somehow disappeared from my craft room. I have no idea where they went. I mean, I can replace both, but it's kind of annoying. The inside of this surface is kind of a chalkboard finish. It's double-sided, so you can do either side. Black on one side, white on the other. And I like this. You're supposed to get snow Thursday. Oh, I haven't seen snow yet in our forecast. Granted, I haven't actually looked at the forecast in a few days, so, you know, we're definitely due for a every season in one day kind of day coming soon, or, you know, multiple. So, for anybody watching that is not familiar, hi Katrina, with Chalk Couture, this is a silkscreen transfer, think stencil, but with mesh in the negative space. And it is reusable. I usually tell people 8 to 12 times, depending on how well you take care of it. And that is really all about getting it clean before the paint dries. Hi, Cindy. And then if you're using it on a surface like this, a non-textile surface, you want to do what we call fuzzing, very technical term. So you just take the transfer, what did I get on there? And this is a chalk fuzzing cloth, but you don't have to have one of these. A microfiber cloth works, a terry cloth towel works. I've used the my pants leg or my shirt, depending on what I'm doing. And you just want to take a little bit of that sticky off the back, so that when you pull it up off your surface, it does not lift up any of your paste. Now, with these chalkboard-like surfaces, they're very forgiving, and I have done projects before with a brand new transfer that I did not fuzz and have not had any problems. But this particular project has probably about 17 colors. Not quite that many, but quite a few. So I'm going to be doing a lot of paste and peel, which really kind of lends itself sometimes to maybe the paste drying a little bit faster than if I was just, you know, doing all one color, all in one shot. So I'm going to go ahead and fuzz it a little bit just to give me some more, a little more grace. And how much you have to do it kind of depends on the surface. Hi, Mary. So like with wood and with acrylic and glass, you need to fuzz a lot. Chalk does make a surface wax that you can use with wood. Acrylic is a gorgeous surface, but hoo-wee, do these things like to stick. Okay, that was way too low. I don't really ever measure when I do this, although I have this nice little mat with a grid on it for me. I guess I could, you know, try to do it that way. But it's easy enough to lift this up and move it. Alright. And sometimes I can't talk and do what I'm trying to do at the same time. I'm going to get this on the surface, and I'm going to push it down and make sure I don't have any bubbles. And I'm going to start at the top and just work my way down. And I'm going to turn it towards me so that I can make sure I don't get paste where I don't want it. And I think I'm actually going to use a little bit of our transfer tape maybe. And hi, Michelle. Kind of mask off the top of that eggnog so I can just be sure. This works kind of like painter's tape, except it's designed to really not stick to the transfers. I mean, it does stick, but it's kind of designed not to like pull it up or anything. Having trouble with my words today. Okay, so now it's all about deciding on what colors I'm going to use. So we are going to start with Shimmer Frost. This is getting to the bottom of my jar. I actually need to order more. Let's stir this up. And I got out a bunch of my smaller squeegees. So I'm going to be working in some small areas here. I'm just going to go cover all of the negative space. Is everybody ready for Halloween? I am not decorated at all, so that's just not going to happen. I do have our candy. I have to I make trick-or-treat bags. Just something my mom and I used to do when I was in high school and college, when we handed out candy. So I still do that. So I need to make those. We have a lot of littles in our neighborhood. I'm just gonna go across and squeegee off the excess. So this is going to be a mostly neutral project, not an entirely neutral project. And real quick, I'm going to go ahead and pull off this transfer tape. I think I'm okay without it now. And then I'm going to use my little detail tool. Hi Glenda, hi Janice. And pull up my corner. And really slowly peel up the transfer, because if I am peeling it up and realize that I missed anything, or if the paste is coming up, I can put the transfer back down and go back over it. But like I said, this is a very forgiving surface, so I don't necessarily anticipate too much problem. And then all I'm going to do, because I still need to do this little berry, is I'm just going to push the transfer back down right there. I'm not going to touch the rest of it. Used to have lots of kids, not so much anymore. Yeah, I mean, some of them, it's funny, we've been in this house for 6 years, and, you know, I look at the kids that were little when we first moved in that are, you know, graduating from high school now, and, you know, all of those kinds of things. But we have had some families move out and some families with younger kids move in. We are right smack dab in the middle of a lot of the schools in our school district, so I think we will maintain a regular cadre of families with young kids in this subdivision. So we're going to use Jolene. This was the, oh goodness, let's see, what is this, October? This was the September color of the month, I believe. It's a deep shimmery red. And I'm going to use this squeegee end of the detail tool because these berries are very small. And I actually kind of went into some of them with the shimmer frost, so I'm going to try to avoid pulling that over, but I don't think it'll be terribly noticeable if I do. Right. So I'm going to pull that up. So this is one of the ways to use multiple colors in a chalk project. The other one is actually my favorite. It's called Hot Mess. It creates kind of a marbling effect. But this is a rather, I do that with smaller surfaces. The A size, the 5x7. I don't know that I've ever done Hot Mess on a larger transfer. But you make little circles of different colors with your fingers until you get it all blended together. And then you have just this amazing kind of marbling effect. I also don't normally, hi Diane, use this many colors. I'm a pretty simple girl most of the time when it comes to crafting, but I really like the effect that Brenda got in hers by kind of using different colors in the same space. So like her leaves on the berries are, you can tell, are two-tone. So we're going to try that. So we're going to use the shimmer olive. Try to make sure I have all the Jolene off of that. I'm going to take this shimmer olive and do the veins, the inside veins. So I was laughing earlier because I had to work today, so I didn't get to watch everybody. But as the day kind of came to an end and got closer to my time, and my meetings were all finished, I was trying to share everybody up, but I wasn't able to watch. But I was able to catch some of Grace and Michelle, and people were talking. People had mentioned in the comments about getting Grace's packages from a Whatnot sale, and I was just laughing because, I have gone down the Whatnot rabbit hole, and oh my goodness, like it's one of those things, like I want to tell people about it, and then I kind of don't, because it's like, it's addictive, and packages are going to start arriving, and my husband's going to be looking at me going, what have you done? So I do have a show coming up in a couple of weeks, so most of what, hitting the cord on my camera, most of what I have purchased, I'm not putting any paste on right now, I'm just using the end of this to kind of push this back down, is for my show. Either I got some good deals on some vintage ornaments, and it's a very like vintagey show, so I'm going to use them for decoration, and then a couple of things that I want to use to make some final pieces. But even still, like, oh Lord, what am I doing? But I do have a show scheduled, so I'm excited about that. So we're going to try that out. So I'm going to use my pesto on the outside of the leaves. I'm going to have to clean off some of these stir sticks, or I'm not going to have any. This is kind of drying out on me a little bit. You can reactivate your chalk paste with distilled water. So I just put a little bit in, stir it up. If it needs a little more, I always tell people don't put a whole lot in at first because sometimes you can water it down too much. And that's hard to undo, unless other than just letting it dry back out again. Alright, so we're going to use this again to do the outside. I have to move this over just a little bit. The one thing about this very small detail on this black surface is that sometimes I have a hard time seeing where the negative space is. I need better light in here. My husband and I are trying to figure out talking about replacing my overhead light in my craft room because it's got a frosted cover on it, which is what I wanted when we moved in. Of course, I didn't have a craft business then. I wasn't doing videos then or anything like that, and that frosted cover really dulls my light. I should have moved I have a floor lamp that I should have moved a little bit closer to my desk before I started. Alright, so we're going to peel this up. There might be some spaces that, I might have to go back over. That little edge right there. Not sure if I missed it or if that pesto started to dry out on me. Okay, that looks alright. Okay, so in Brenda's original design, she used, pretty sure, based on her list of paste colors that she used, she did that in eucalyptus. But since pink and teal are expected to be very popular colors, I am going to use this ballet slipper that just came out. I don't remember if this came out before the holiday release. It's new this year. It's new just like within the past few months, but I don't remember which release it came out with. I'm gonna go back over these letters and just sort of make sure that everything is pushed down. That's the one thing with paste and peel is when you lift it up, you've got to make sure that what is still to be chalked is stuck down on your surface. And I'm going to take the pink all the way down to these little lines. There's more little stars down here, but I'm not going to do those in the pink. And I've got some bubbles right there that I'm going to have to get out before I chalk that. I apologize, y'all. I'm a little low energy today. Got my updated COVID vaccine yesterday and my flu shot, and not like, I don't know, I'm not feeling bad, it just kind of got me tired, I think. I would love to know in the comments how many of you are familiar with chalk couture, have you used chalk couture, are you do you use it now currently? Have you seen it before and never used it? I did an event Saturday, and I had a mixed bag of folks. Hi, Lena. Some who had never heard of it, some who had seen it before and never used it. A couple of folks who had seen it before at like an expo, bought product and never, had never used it. I mean, we've all done that. Hi, Kelly. Actually, I'm pretty sure that the first time I was ever introduced to chalk, I bought stuff and it sat for several months before I actually used it. And now, other than making t-shirts, it is like the biggest part of what I do. Okay. So I'm definitely gonna need 45 minutes for this. I wasn't really thinking about the multiple colors. Well, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so I'm going to peel that up nice and slow. So we've got kind of the first half done. And then I'm going to turn this around now that I'm getting closer to the bottom. And try to decide on my color scheme. So I definitely want to stick with the shimmer frost for all these little stars. Hi, Sandra. Alright, I'm going to do the cinnamon stick. I'm going to do the cinnamon stick. Yeah, I'm going to do the cinnamon stick in Nominee, which is a metallic gold. This was a 2023 color of the month. I think it might have been November. And everybody went so gaga crazy over it that they brought it back and kept it in the permanent collection. Because we were all like, no, you can't take this one. And we've had a couple of other metallic colors come in since then, and they are really fun. I like the shimmers a lot. Kind of speaks, it's the equivalent to me of glitter heat transfer vinyl. But I also like these metallic pastes a great deal. Might have to, no, I think it'll be okay. So this cinnamon stick lines right up against the rim of the glass. So I want to make sure that I'm being kind of careful about that line. Moving this all around, trying to figure out what the best angle is. And normally in a design, I don't go left to right and then like up and down, but sometimes you have to in order to get everything sort of angled correctly. So there's our cinnamon stick. I am remembering now why I don't do 7 colors in one design. But I saw Brenda's picture of her project on the website the other day, and I just really wanted to try it. Hi, Sherry. So we're going to do the shimmer frost on these little stars, and just there's some stars, there's some little dots. I almost, and actually I thought about switching it up just at the last minute, but I could not find what I was looking for. I can't even remember if it was this year or last year. I think it was last year. Came out with a transfer, was it called chicken coop? It was it was a hen and a rooster, and had the transfer and the chalkable shapes, and I'm still going to do it at some point. I want to do a neon chicken. I don't know where or how or why that popped into my head. I'll hop down here and do these real quick. But at the last minute today, I was like, oh, I should do my neon chicken. And then I couldn't find my chicken chalkable shape. I think I know where it is. Remembered that right before I actually went live, but I want to do that at some point. And peel up to get those little stars that I did down there. Watch my time. I actually missed a little bit of that one right there. Okay, that should be all right. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the glass. And I'm pretty sure again from Brenda's picture that she did the glass in Peachy Keen, which doesn't really, like when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound like the right kind of color that you would do the glass in, but how it shows up in on a black surface, it actually works really well. And I'm gonna use another one of these detail tools up here at the top to line the glass up with the cinnamon stick. I have accumulated several of these over the past year and a half, because oftentimes when I'm doing a project like this where you've got like all these little bitty teeny tiny spaces, I end up needing more than one. The one thing that I have to be careful with this one though is that I sometimes will push too hard and I'll end up with a little bit of bleed, because the paste goes through the design and underneath the negative space, so I kind of have to be careful. And the other half of this star right here is underneath the rim of the glass, so I'm keeping that in the peachy keen. My thinking is that it's going to give some dimension. I do like these because you hold it like you're holding a pencil, and so it gives you a little more control. And then I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the excess here, and then I'm going to lift up the transfer, and then I'm going to finish out the glass using a larger squeegee so I can go a little bit faster. Okay, so there's the first part of the glass. And then I'm going to take a squeegee that I cut in half. Actually, I do that. So I've got another little star here that's partially outside of the glass and partially behind the glass. So I'm going to do half of it in the peachy keen, and then I will go back and go back and do the outside of it in the shimmer frost. Got to get a little bit here next to this cinnamon stick with my little detail tool. I did actually intend to do the liquid in the glass in a different color. I kind of got ahead of myself there, but I think it'll look okay. If I really, really, really wanted to, I could take a board eraser or a paper towel or something and remove the ink from just that area and go back and chalk over it again, but I probably won't. That's a little bit too much for me. Hi, Laura. Trying to make sure I don't go over the wording at the bottom here with the name of the transfer and the year. It's weird, sometimes those are negative space and it will actually go through on the design. I think they've changed that on the newer ones, so it's not like that, but I don't ever really look. I don't think to look until I'm like midway through a project, and so I just avoid it. And then I'm going to use this for this last little bit because I've got more of a star along here. So we want to get the rim in the peachy keen and the star that is kind of behind the glass in the peachy keen, and then leave a little room for the star that's outside of the glass in the shimmer frost. And I'm going to start to peel up from the bottom now. Again, nice and slow, and if you can, you want to try and peel up from the center and peel up straight, not at an angle, so that you don't stretch or transfer. Try not to let it fall out of your hands. Only because that just ends up getting paste where you don't want it. Okay, so I have about 4 minutes. Probably, I don't anticipate that I'll be completely done in 4 minutes. But what I'm going to do, just so you all can see the detailing, is I'm going to do some of the wording that's on the side. So it's got the rest of the eggnog recipe on the side here. And we are going to alternate this, I think, between camel, that is like a brand new jar and it's very smooth, so I don't really think I need to stir it. Sometimes you can tell whether or not you need to stir it. I usually stir all the time, but just trying to be efficient here. I'm going to pull that back so you can see it. So we'll have, you know, down each side of the glass, we'll have some of the ingredients, and then there's another little holly berry right there, so I'll do that to mimic that. What I might do is alternate the greens, so I might do the shimmer olive on the outside this time and do, you know, pesto on the inside veins, just, you know, for something a little different. And then we've got some more stars and little dots down here that I'll do in the shimmer frost, and then I will alternate the this, I think this vanilla, camel, and what did I say? Did I say dune? No, that's a little too much. I might throw some sage in there with the rest of the ingredients. So obviously it's going to look a little different than Brenda's. This is the original. You know, I varied the colors, and I'm not using the exact same transfer. I am gonna do the frame in the gold spray paint with the white wax because I like that finish that she has on there. So I'll get this finished up today and put it in the frame and post a picture of it so y'all can see it. And then when I get the gold spray paint and get it spray painted and waxed, I'll come back in and share a picture of that. So there we go. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy our next presenter. And I looked before I started and now I can't remember. And then I'm looking forward to going back and watching everybody's projects on the replay. So you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all next time.